Yeah. Let's do it again, baby. Hello. Whoa. Woo.
Not changing my lifestyle. I'm 4 or 5 women.
Podcast every week of my life. Hey, welcome to the Comedians of Wrestling podcast, the podcast where comedians dissect the wrestling to an unhealthy degree. I am your host, the host with the most viral stand-up about professional wrestling, Dan Black.
Oh, you didn't know?
A.K.A. Dunsky, Black Amora.
Holy motherfucking shit.
A.K.A. Donnie Wrestling. Zoom, clap. Donnie Wrestling. This bitch should not happen on Zoom. A.K.A. the modern day goof and spoof.
No more Mr. Nice Jew.
Raja coming at you like Cleopatra, baby. Gabba.
Gabba, wee, gabba,
Yeah,
gabba,
ooh,
gee, gabba,
yeah,
gabba, gabba.
This girl, she is mine. Now shake those hips.
And let your backbone slip.
Damn, she's fine. What up, jabroniacs? We are back in action.
Why don't you shut up, Steve?
Oh, hey, for your satisfaction with all of our spicy wrestling reactions.
Stupid.
Okay, no judgments. What up? We're back. Another spicy week. Lots to say. Too much to say. Many would argue that that we should go into overtime, but I say no. We run a tight ship here, aka the loosest ship in the wrestling verse. Before we move on to talking about wrestling, just know this podcast is grassroots. We are more grassroots than ever, given the COVID era. Lost our studio. We had a beautiful studio. Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood Strip. It was one of the top studios, and we lost it. We lost it due to COVID. And it's growing weeds. Everybody knows it. We hate weeds, right, folks? We hate weeds? No one
The
likes
worst.
My dad loves Weeds, the TV show. Still talking about weeds. But anyway, the only way to support this podcast is on patreon.com/comedians of wrestling. But throw us a couple bucks. You can handle it. And but we're not asking for handouts because we got tiers of this pod that offers you bonus content. Every Friday, me and Tulo, the Supermark, who might be appearing on this podcast tonight,
Holy motherfucking shit.
will be... We talk about, we dissect AEW and NXT. We're getting to the Wednesday night content. And every Monday night / Tuesday morning, Aaron and I have the Cow Movie Club where we dissect movies with pro wrestlers in them. And Aaron, you're here. Let's throw it over to you. What movie can they hear us talk about this week? And what movie can the folks expect for next week?
Oh, I almost forgot. This week, we watched the 2011 John Cena classic, The Reunion, now available on official Cow streaming platform Tubi.
Oh, yeah.
And let's hear it.
Tubi's one of my guys.
And next week, we are watching the 2019 classic,
Yeah.
Changeland, directed by and starring Seth Green and Randy Orton, now
Wow.
available on Hulu.
Wow, we really run the gamut. Like I say it every week, watching movies where your entrant point is just that there's a wrestler in it, that's gonna throw you all over the map. I mean, you're gonna be spanning genres and quality galore.
Right. Well, I shared a list to our Facebook page of every movie that we have watched
saw
for
that.
this podcast in the Cow Movie Club and in-studio dissection episodes, and it is a very diverse list of films. Cinema, really.
Right. Okay, great. And so that's exciting. People are going to be pumped about that. And also, guys, remember, on this podcast, rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. And if you do, tell us a wrestler that is one of your guys. A wrestler, you see them and you're like, this wrestler gets my juices flowing. You know what I mean? You see a wrestler and you're like, baby! You know what I mean? Like, you see their talents, it makes you want to crack.
A little bit of the bubbly.
You know what I mean? You just want to celebrate by seeing them. Leave that in our review, and we'll congratulate you on having a new one of your guys in the reviews, and we have a couple for you right now.
Wow.
Timmy Sims, 5-star
Hey.
review for us on Apple Podcast. He says, the intro to this podcast is one of my guys.
Yeah.
Wow. that
Finally,
cancels
somebody
out
likes
that
it.
other review.
Well, that's good. That's going to counteract that 1-star review I got roasting the intro. Okay, here we go. Oh, wait. I think oh, no, here it is. All right. Jimmy, JS, Oxford Standard says, Adam Page, one of my guys.
Wow. Congrats.
Anyway, and I've done the rest of them so far. So anyway, guys, leave 5-star reviews so you can get me to read your podcast. I have another announcement for the pod. I'm going to be bringing back the cash-ins for the pod. By popular demand, I'll be bringing back the cash-ins next week. The number is to leave a cash-in. You leave us a voicemail, and we'll play them on the pod. I know how to do this now, now that we don't have the studio. But remember, if you like the cash-in feature, you want it back, patreon.com. Support us. That's another feature that we need to add to this podcast. And show some respect for once, okay? To your wallet for a couple of dollars. No big deal, right, folks? Come on. But the number is 316.
Sound of glass breaking.
Where is that? I've already even played that today. 530-2429-316. 530-2429. Blow my mind.
Gabba gabba wee, gabba gabba gay.
All right. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's talk about all the spice that is. Oh, wait, one more thing. Check out the Regular Guy News podcast, Dan Black Attack podcast. We are discussing Kamala Harris. We're doing a deep dive into her credentials. That's it. I got no agenda. I'm just looking at what has she done. That's it. We're going through that. Plain and simple. No editorializing. Just being like, hey, what has she done? I mean, maybe a little bit of times in between. But look, I got no agenda. Let's just see. Is this person qualified to be the VP? Answer's yes. And check that out. It's on the Dan Black Attack podcast.
Probably more qualified to be vice president than Joe Biden is qualified to be president.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We can figure that out.
No more Mr. Nice Jew!
Okay, Newman. Yeah, okay, so let's get into it. Newman is in the house. As always, you heard him already. He couldn't even hold back for this. He couldn't hold back for 10 minutes while I intro the show. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. He couldn't give me 15 to 25 minutes of his time. He's a nasty, nasty boy. He is finally tapped out his arch nemesis, Spectrum Wireless Internet, and he's here with a beautiful connection. He's coming at us live from the Raw Underground. Nasty
Wow.
Newman.
How about it, Underground? I'm back. We're running out of Coke. We need to pick up some more, but things are going good.
Yeah, Raw Underground, by the way, is sponsored by cocaine. The drug. The drug. Wherever you can get it, it's sponsored. As always, you heard her already, the First Lady, Erin Finnerty, in the house. And joining us from Long Island, our Long Island correspondent. He heard we're talking about MJF. He wanted to be boots on the ground. He could practically smell the brute cologne. Nick Tulo, the supermarket, and the holder of the Cow Money in the Bank briefcase.
It's not brute. It's cool water. Okay.
Oh,
And,
yeah. My bad.
You've been going too long.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Great news about the cash-ins coming back. Me being actually the king of the cash-in. One day I used to only be a guy who cashed in, and now look at me. I'm on the pod. So don't get any crazy ideas.
It will not happen for anyone else.
This is it. We're drawing the line, but hey, anything's possible. If I could do
Anything's
it,
possible.
you could. Just not around here.
That's right.
Different podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Tulo is here. I'm already regretting that, but he's here. Let's get into talk about this interesting week in the world of professional wrestling. I would like to just start by saying it feels like, I don't know if this is just in my head or not, it feels as if wrestling is getting a little revitalized. Am I making that up? Am I just feeling that? Nothing has changed in this world in terms of COVID's still on the rise. We're still doing this show on Zoom. We're spiking all over the place. The world is truly still out of control. Almost no progress in any direction. But I just feel like people are more excited for wrestling. Am I wrong? Do you feel that, or is it just me?
I completely agree. I'm right there with you, buddy. I'm riding shotgun.
I think we've all settled to the new low of wrestling, and our baseline is different. And now it's like we've acclimated. Now it's like, oh, okay, I can enjoy this. I guess.
Yeah.
At a different level, a lower level.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's like funny. It's like when I'm scrolling through all the depressive, news of the day, right? And the swampiness that is like Facebook and blah, blah, blah. All the wrestling comedy makes me smile, right? Like, did you see all the memes? I love all wrestling memes, even bad memes. Did you guys see
Desperate times.
Yeah. Did you guys see that video of the guy, like, the cops are, like, arresting his son and he runs after
Yeah.
And people were editing it all with wrestling music? Did you see
Like a
it?
run-in? No,
Yeah, like as a
With
run-in.
the Warrior music.
Oh my god, it's so fucking funny. I know
I
Matt
had-
McCarthy posted it. A bunch of people are posting it.
I don't know if I've seen that one, but I have to say there was a meme, a video, a shit post, whatever you want to call it, posted to our Facebook page
Oh yeah.
that was the explosion in Lebanon
Oh
that
my
turned
God.
into the smoke that Edge walks through when he enters.
Oh.
And
You think you know me?
Oh, okay, let me tell
Come
you
on,
this.
Dan.
That is so
Dan.
I was so shocked when I
Oh my
saw
God,
it.
Dan.
And the caption
Dan.
was, of
I
course,
want to
too
say I
soon.
deleted that. I
You
deleted it.
deleted it? Okay.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I was so shocked by that content. I didn't even know what to think.
Here's the
It was
okay.
insane.
Okay, let me talk about this for 1 second. Okay, so a very funny meme.
wow.
A very funny idea, that Edge meme, and it is an example of something that makes me happy, is they show something that ends up in smoke and then Edge
Right,
enters.
right.
I love it so much. This was in such poor taste, I deleted it off the Facebook group. It's the explosion in Beirut
From like a
And
week ago.
from a week ago that has put Lebanon into complete turmoil, and it was insensitive. I deleted it.
It was so
but
crazy.
I also seen the guy who posted it. I feel like I just deleted it. I didn't like boot him out of the group or anything.
Right.
I
Not
think
Did he make
bootable
it or
offense.
just repost?
It was
No.
a reshare.
He
from
clearly
another
said-
source.
He clearly said, "I didn't make this."
Right.
But is it too soon?
he said too soon with a question mark,
Yeah.
meaning you knew better. You knew
Yeah.
better. Okay. If anyone is affected by that explosion that we know, my heart goes out to you. That's a failure of government on its people. It's an extension of what we're experiencing here. People shouldn't be susceptible to inadequacies of people that they vote in and pay to protect them. So nothing good there. Assuming that story's still true, right? Because it was just they were storing chemicals incorrectly. Is that my understanding? It was seized chemicals from Russian ship. Am I wrong? I might be a little off.
Sounds like a topic for the regular guy news.
Yeah, not really. Anyway, that being said, the Edge meme of when something that is an innocuous smoke, let's say, I don't know, like a small fire, I don't know.
Trash
I don't-
fire.
A
Or-
trash fire. And
A
then
really
Edge
funny
comes
one.
out of it. Very funny.
A really funny one was there was back like a couple months ago when like there was like some riots happening and there was in like a Walmart, there was people like rioting in a Walmart and the woman in like a wheelchair was like trying to like she was trying to stab people and like stop them from like looting.
Yeah, at a
Walmart.
Target.
Oh, yeah, Target, and they sprayed her with a fire extinguisher, and then the smoke, and then he became Edge coming out of the smoke.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yes.
You think you know me?
Oh, man. Man. I love
Oh.
Edge. What is it like? I like just see Edge enter from that smoke, and I immediately just go, yeah, fuck yeah. You're like, hey, Joe, man, he's so cool. Anyway, okay. But yeah, I think wrestling, I feel like there's a revitalization. But this guy, this guy, his son's being arrested by 2 cops. And this cop, he runs in from outside and it plays the warrior music. So it just goes like, and he just runs at the cops, and it's just, people were editing it literally to have like lights, like scanning spotlights and stuff. It's fucking good. It's just good. Then someone posted like a fight on the street, which is, I don't condone like filming fights, but somebody just straight up gives a guy a power ball, a pile driver. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
That one I didn't share because I go like, this is just true violence.
Yeah, that was in the group, I think.
But I did watch it like 40 times in a row because this guy, they're like just having just like a fist fight, and then this guy just gets him into a pile driver. But if you watch it, it's so weird because they like wrestling, you know, when you get somebody between your legs and you both are like 1, 2,
Yes.
3. It feels like they do that, and then the guy's head hits the ground for the pile driver. They both get up and just walk in separate directions. The fight's over.
Fight over.
Done. If you pull off a WWE move on somebody in a real fight, it's done.
On the
Yeah.
on the asphalt.
It doesn't matter where it was going. It's over. It's over. There's one where there's another. It's like a street fight happening, and this guy rushes at one guy, and he like kind of tries to spear him, and he does like a legit like gut wrench power bomb. Like he picks the guy up and slams him down. I'm like, why? How? Some of these
gut wrenches are more common in fights than any other pickup wrestling move because it's kind of like you can awkwardly grab somebody in a gut wrench and then put them into that. But yeah, it's crazy. I saw one video where the guy kind of like picked the guy up and then the other guy like kind of was trying to like fight out of it and then went into like almost like a Canadian destroyer. And you're like, wow, you guys accidentally did something so acrobatic, you know?
I really liked the spear off the boat.
Canoe.
That I shared.
Yeah,
that was.
Is that guy naked or was he naked?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
That every time I watched that, I saw something new.
He's wearing
It was
like khaki shorts.
The beer,
Yeah.
the beer flying.
The beer flies in the other
that
direction.
spear is like that dress. You're like, is it like purple or white or whatever?
Yeah.
Whatever that was. Because like one guy was like, "Am I the only one who just saw the beer fly?" And then someone wrote that because all right. So in this video, if you haven't seen it, it's in the Facebook group, Comedians Wrestling Facebook group. It's a guy. He's docking in a canoe, right? He's docking in a canoe.
I'm watching it now.
He's standing. I'm just laughing thinking about it. He's standing.
He's got the flotation vest on. Yeah.
Oh God, Aaron's showing it on the Zoom video, which is on the my YouTube page. And I guess his friend or somebody spears him from off camera so fucking hard into the lake.
Well, there's like a comedy secret there where it's like anytime something comes from off camera,
Off screen, yeah.
Full speed.
It's 100% funny every time.
Yeah. Oh God. Anyway, this stuff is the only shit making me laugh right now. You know what I mean? Like, there's no like good Fauci jokes or like I don't need any of that shit. Even like Kamala Harris becomes the VP candidate, and then like someone sends me immediately Kamala stuff, and you're like,
Yeah.
like Kamala 2020, sure. I'm like, wrestling is everything. It's dope.
Yeah. So
Well,
true.
Kamala's last is James. He's James Kamala Harris.
Yeah, his name is Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
His real name's like James Harris, right?
Right.
And then his kayfabe name was Kamala.
Right.
His name's Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio, same thing.
Dominic
Dominic
Mysterio.
Mysterio.
R.I.P. to Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, he's dead.
We'll get into that, but okay, so.
Pre-workout's kicking in.
Well, one thing, yeah. Oh man,
Is that what that is?
pre-workout's kicking out. Let's get the return of the cowbell. Got the
That
cowbell,
thing.
which I'm going to bring over to Aaron
Yeah, I'll have
for the
it for
video.
next
The
week.
cowbell, got it from Cow Studios. We finally have the bell again. But I will bring up something else that's kind of outside the ring. I was watching a little wrestling with Jamie, and I'm going to try to get Jamie to come on here and do a little guest commentary, to have her review the match that she watched. She watched a full match.
Which
But
match?
the Luchasaurus versus on AEW. Luchasaurus.
Just now.
Jurassic.
I've seen your wife Jamie picked up by
Yeah, Luchasaurus.
physically picked up by Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
It was no
it's probably
effort on
on
his
her
part
Instagram.
whatsoever. Yeah.
Easily, yeah, picked her up. But so
She said, "He's the biggest man I've ever seen in my life."
I believe it.
she's right. He's huge.
He's enormous.
Yeah.
Dinosaur.
Love Luchasaurus. But you know, like that moment we've talked about this before when like you love wrestling so much, someone you idolize, someone
look
comes
up
in.
to.
Somebody.
I gotta find that. I definitely had
One
that
of
somewhere.
my faves.
But you know, like you finally get somebody to like actually watch like wrestling, you know,
Mhm.
and then the moment they see is like just so stupid, you know, because wrestling's only like what good 5% of the time or whatever, like you know what I mean. So like truly hits on that high. You're always chasing those awesome. You're chasing the Daniel Bryan moments and blah blah blah, whatever, you know. But so Jamie's turn. She walks in right as Luchasaurus comes in his full lucha mask, and then he looks to the camera, and we're both watching, and he's like, "Mom, like it only took me 65 million years to get a title shot."
Oh my God,
And
that's
then walks out,
God.
and then Jamie's like, "It's so stupid." She goes, "This is so stupid." But like, then she watched the match, and you can see what she said. But you know that moment where you like want somebody to see the cool shit, but then they see like the silliest stuff.
Then they just keep walking there, like, all right, catch up with you later. I'm gonna go upstairs now.
I didn't know what to say. Like, let's say if you had this situation with your Sigods, right?
Yeah.
Who's not a wrestling guy. And then the dinosaur says, "Oh, 65 million years." You know, and like their mind is like, this is an athletic competition that we're supposed to suspend our disbelief, but this guy's pretending to be a dinosaur who speaks perfect English without even an accent or anything. He just uses his regular voice, you know?
What, like a
Right.
dinosaur accent?
Yeah,
What kind of accent are we talking
I
about?
think it would help. I think it would help if he was like, "I'm only just." I think it would help a little.
In your mind, what is a dinosaur's accent?
Oh, it's like Tim Allen, I think.
Interesting.
Listen, I know that it makes
grunt.
no fucking sense that a dino would talk like that. I know, because dinosaurs don't talk, and also we'd have no basis for what they sound like. They could sound more human. I understand that. But I still think it would help if he was like, "I'm a dinosaur."
Oh.
Instead of being like, "Hey, I'm a dinosaur."
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
What do you got
All right.
there?
Anyway.
Little
This
pink
is-
lemonade?
No. This is a lime, duh. I just it was warm, so actually I don't know why I didn't crack it on mic. That was fucking weird. But this is
Whoa.
I always pre-pop mine.
no, don't worry. It's not a big deal. I got a 12er. I got a 12er right here.
What flavor is that?
Tastique.
Pastique. It's watermelon.
Duh.
Wow, is it
The
amazing?
finest.
Is that what the French call watermelon? Pastique?
Yeah, I guess.
I gotta get up on
It's-
that.
You didn't know?
Oh, je ne sais quoi.
Anyway, let's talk about wrestling for a second. So, you know what I want to do?
Yeah, let's talk about wrestling.
Well, that's what we've been doing, guys. I don't know. Listen, I'm the king of the segue. Everyone knows this, okay? Many people are talking about this, okay? I want to compare, and I want to talk about and not in really, I'm not trying to be like critical, but I think it's interesting. The two heavyweight title pictures going on for SummerSlam and All Out, okay? Which is the MJF Mox promo that happened this week, segment that happened this week, and the Randy Drew segment that happened this week. Because I think that I feel like they were both successful in ways, unsuccessful in ways, but different in a way where you can kind of be like, see the differences between the companies, you know, that I thought it was really interesting while I was watching it. So let's start with just the Randy Orton segment. So I think this Randy Orton segment at the end of Raw when he punched Ric Flair was a killer successful segment, I thought. Right? Like I thought that's like a must watch. It's one of those things, it's like, you know what's going to happen. It's what Randy's been doing. It's very consistent, right? but it's heightened because now he's doing it on Rick. It's like now he's completely out of control. As a matter of fact, to be honest, if I wrote this, this is like the opposite of how I always talk about this stuff, I wouldn't even have had Randy say much.
Yeah.
Like we don't even need to hear justifications from Randy. We're locked in on Randy's deal already. Oh my God. He's the number one stepdad. Right? We know what Randy does. He can't control himself. Like it's like Rick's there. It's just like he's fucking get out of here.
Yeah.
Like I take you out. He's the legend killer, and also like he repeated the junkie thing. It's like I already kind of got that. That being said, Ric Flair this is one of his best segments in
Ever.
God knows how long, right?
Yeah. It's kind of cool too to see like somebody who's been doing it forever still like someone you idolize, like slip not him, slip into a mode, right? Like he like accessed like because he's like a mumbly jumbler when he's talking to Kevin Owen backstage.
Yeah.
And then in this segment he was like dialed in, man.
It
the
felt
power of him just being like calm and real and like vulnerable. His acting was like 10 out of 10. It was like the best Flair I remember since the Flair well, to be honest. And that counts all the stuff he did with his daughter. This was better. Like I believe that he sees Randy in that way. And it was like so sad. You're like, I'm 71.
Sad. It was so sad. People in the group during the show were like tear emojis, like all around, because it was kind of sad to see.
Right. You were like, when Randy's like,
so here I am with my thoughts of you.
This is the Flair Well song, by the way. This is from the package of Randy retiring, of Rick retiring. By the way, he didn't retire. He came back, but leave the memories alone. All right. Anyway, oh man.
Well, I think the line about him being the son he always wanted, like, was like just like,
yeah.
Brutal.
I mean, listen,
Brutal.
I know
Really brutal.
I know it's not real, but it's still it's still words that are being said. I mean, like, no matter how much
that's no longer here, too.
Right.
Yeah, and honestly, it actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It does feel like that. I mean, like,
it's very believable. It's
like,
believable. It's sometimes that's work shoot, Dulo. Like that's the thing we try to explain to people all the time about wrestling, and it's really hard to explain because you have to say to somebody, no, it's cool because we know it's scripted, we know all that, but like these guys have been working together for like 20 years, and his son did die, and like he is like doing all the stuff his son wished he wanted to do, and they are really close. So it's like it is believable that he might feel that way, where even saying it out loud here, he might go to his therapist tomorrow and be like, I kind of had a breakthrough with that scripted segment, right?
Yeah. Let me play it for you on my phone. Watch
Right, and that's
the therapist is like, is this guy supposed to be a dinosaur or what's happening?
Right, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So wait, he's a snake?
Well, yeah. So if you compare these two segments, Rick was like, I realized that like I've been your dog's hilarious right now.
Your dog is killing me.
Maggie's like,
Maggie is killing me. Maggie is doing Supermaning it.
You gotta see that soup.
Oh my God! If there's anything you do, you need to stop the pod immediately and find the timestamp that it is, and go to the YouTube and see this.
This is comfortable for her.
Yo,
it's like your dog, like the arm was raised for the it's the 1, 2, 3, and it's Maggie's knocked out. Maggie's back. It's like, oh my God. Maggie's hulking up. All right. Anyway, so God,
check out the YouTube video, folks.
Yeah, if you compare the two things, back to the point, Ric Flair, he was there like, I realized this might be true. Like where Luchasaurus would go to his therapist and be like, I realized I was wrestling to make my mom proud for 65 million years. He had a 65 million year breakthrough that he wrestles for his mother. Yeah, but it was really the sweet spot. Now that being said, great. I do feel like this is overused tactic in WWE. And then it's just like Drew came out as just the kind of generic good guy who kind of has no connection to Rick and no connection to Rick, and was just like, all right, I got to stop Randy. It still works. It still works because it's like, wow, Randy's out of control. But my problem, not my problem, it does work because Ric Flair is so tied to the title, right? And the whole being like, Rick being like, I want to see you break the title. He's like, nah, you're not going to, my record, you know? It does work, but again, it feels like Orton does not need to be even in the title picture. Like, he what he's doing is so good that it's like, I guess he doesn't even need to be the champion, but I hope he doesn't. I hope he beats Drew. With this story, he should be beating Drew.
Yeah, it kind of took me out of it a tiny bit when Drew came out and he was like, "Even Rick,
Oh yeah, that's
you
what I was
are
gonna say.
something else,
Even
Mister.
Rick.
You bastard!
You're
That's
something else, buddy boy. I can't even Rick
You
Flair."
evil son of a bitch.
Yeah,
I think we set a world record on camera cuts there from Drew to Randy, Randy, Drew.
Camera one, camera four.
Yeah, it was like because I made note. I was like, wow, there's 3 minutes left in the show, and it was like just a 3-minute stare down.
Right. Okay.
Wild.
So I thought this really worked. I think they are selling this match really well. I don't think they've done enough work, and I'm not sure if this is anyone's really fault, but I'm not really sure they've done enough work to establish Drew as the guy to be like the moral compass of the show. It's just kind of more like he's the champ. He doesn't like that's Cena's. Like if Cena did that, you'd be like, "Yo, Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, Respect." You'd be like, he would like to go after Flair, a legend like that. That is too far. But again, that's not really Drew's fault. This is like his initial push. He hasn't had enough time, really.
Well,
but like if you just start calling him the psychopath and blah blah blah, it doesn't totally fit into that. Like there is a lot of value. I'm just saying there is a lot of value in having like that kind of classic hero role. You know.
Let's talk about the important factor: the lights going out. The lights going out, so we don't see the actual punt. I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Are we supposed to think that's a retribution thing? Is that a tactic?
I was going to ask.
I feel
I
a
thought
work
it
when I
was
see
just
a work, and I think this is all just a ploy
Gotcha.
for that Randy and Rick are doing
I
to
see
get
what you're
like
saying.
Drew.
You think that? Someone you idolize. Oh shit!
Oh, you didn't know?
Wow, Tulo, did you think of that yourself?
Yeah.
I did, yeah. I said, why would the lights go out there? Exactly, yeah. Why would the lights go out?
Yeah, that's a
at
great
that
call.
point?
I was just like, oh, it's Retribution. You're like, oh shit, maybe he's working Retribution. Pretty fucking good.
Because you get the big leg slap. I mean, you can fake a low blow.
I just assume it's because why even risk kicking Rick?
That's what I thought. Like, oh, they're just doing this so they don't have to like.
Yeah. You can't.
And you could just be like, oh, we know
they have all the camera angles
outside.
in the world. They can make sure that he'll never kick him. Every one of those punts. It's not like he was kicking Big Show in the fucking head.
Dude, look at Ric Flair. His skull is so thin, like a barometric pressure shift would collapse it.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Flair could drink through his forehead at this point.
It's just weird that Retribution would plan out to cut the lights at the time when fucking Randy's kicking it.
I think that's a cool theory. I don't think it's true. I think that the punt is known in WWE as dangerous. They took it away from Randy. At one point, he stopped doing it for a long time because like he was kicking guys in the head too hard. So I think they're like, we'll give it back to you, but you're not kicking Rick. That being said, I think that would be really way cooler than what they. That's like if we go to Newman's, what's it called? McMahon's razor.
Yeah. You have to, are you going to apply McMahon's razor to this situation right now?
Yeah, but apply McMahon's razor. Do you want to re-explain what that is for people?
So McMahon's razor. Yeah. Okay, so it's based on Occam's razor, not to be confused with the Occam's razor.
That's so good.
Occam's razor states that the most likely explanation is usually the simplest explanation, and so McMahon's razor is the least exciting idea is usually the idea that they're gonna go with.
Right. So
that
my
adds
point,
up.
Yeah, like your idea is too good. I think too long.
I mean, that's how it usually works, you know. I mean, no, I'm just saying. I'm just like, I got you got Rick the Dirty. So but then I'm also on the other end of the spectrum. I'm like, man, if WWE wants to do something and they want to fucking get ahead and show that they're willing to take risks, now is the time. If this is a real thing, now is the time for a match between Charlotte and Randy. I mean, it would be the most watched and biggest talked about thing in wrestling
I agree.
ever.
Well, fuck with that
Ever.
hard.
And
I
you know
agree,
what you do? You have Randy take out fucking Drew for the title, and then Survivor Series, you build it up for 2 fucking months, 2 months, and you have Charlotte versus Randy for the title. And guess what? You have Charlotte win.
I think
I like it.
I think that you. Well, I wouldn't do. I would do it like this. I would have had Charlotte there, and what Drew did, I would have had Charlotte do, and then I think you let this thing simmer for like a year, right? I think not maybe not a year, but like 6 months, something like that. I think you let it like Charlotte's hurt, and when she comes back, they're like put her in some storyline to wrestle a woman. She beats her quick, and she's like, I'm not wrestling women until I get Randy. Like, you know what I mean? And you make that a long-term match where people are like, because build it for a long, long time. And then when you sell it, you have packages of her training with other guys, her
The Rock
beefing up really hard, right? Like that.
Yeah.
Then you could really sell that. She is the woman to do that with. But then Randy probably beats her, right? I mean, I don't think Randy can lose to Charlotte.
Not clean.
Listen, there is no better time for WWE to do something. I can't say that. It's really hard. WWE to do something like this than right now. It's it. You don't need a crowd for this. You make it, instead of calling the greatest wrestling match ever, you just do
Keep going.
It's the intergender match of the century. Like, you know, no one's ever going to be able to top Randy Orton versus Charlotte. It's impossible. You just can't. And now more than ever, because it was just a huge topic recently, especially on Twitter and stuff, like intergender wrestling. People are like giving all these stupid opinions. It's like, let them do it. I mean, you have the 2 top tier talents, the 2 best. I mean, literally Randy's showing that he's the best now. And Charlotte is the clear cut best, even though women's wrestling is incredible now. But Charlotte's still the GOAT. You know,
are people talking about that again on Twitter, or is this the old conversation?
No, yeah, it's like it came up again, and obviously you had the fucking idiots that say that, you know, they say the dumb shit. And
I'll
then
say this about intergender wrestling. I buy like Asuka beating a guy, or like Charlotte beating Randy, more than I buy Marco Stunt beating anybody in a match.
That's fair, yeah.
So,
I mean,
like, this argument that, like, the size difference and the blah, 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 blah. It's like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I mean, like,
how
Shayna Baszler
good
is standing right behind you now in the Raw Underground.
Yeah,
so,
she's right.
Yeah, she's
terrifying.
Actually pretty scary.
Which was an awesome. Wasn't that not the coolest way to use Shayna Baszler ever?
She belongs in the
Hold on. I got it.
Oh, let's hear Raw Underground about. I forgot what it is actually. Maybe Shane will tell me.
Welcome everyone to Raw Underground, where there are very little rules, lots of excitement, carnage, chaos, and quite frankly, lots of things that I personally would like to see.
Okay, you guys heard it here.
I noticed that he does that pointing thing now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That is a good point about the use of Shayna Baszler. I think let's move on to Raw Underground in a second because I want to get to an AEW thing now because I want to talk about this. So that's the Randy Drew feud. And then I want to talk about the feud at the top, which is this MJF feud in AEW. Now, I said this on the bonus episode last week. I'm still confused about some aspects of this AEW thing. And I'm interested. The people think I'm not criticizing it. Here's what I would say about what MJF is doing with this Jon Moxley feud in these promos. I can't tell if I like it or not, is like where I'm at. I'm not exactly sure. The camp, I find it to be, in terms of writing, very convoluted. Especially, it's a little like, It's just like a little confusing. What's the word I want? But in terms of like, okay, he's doing kind of a very over the top campaign thing, like a very big character choice, very very charactery, you know. But then he's doing a lot of shoot talk, you know, and so like in his promos, he's like, I'm campaigning. He's campaigning to saying that, oh, everybody deserves, like AEW people deserve better for it, but it's a match that he has, right? So again, I'm not sure what he's campaigning. I guess for the crowd to be more on his side, and I think what he's doing, based on this whole look up at the lights thing, is he's campaigning to have everybody put pressure on AEW to book him to win. Right?
Oh,
Because
interesting.
I think that's what he's doing, but I'm kind of confused by it because he's saying, like, I know what you don't like about me is that I won't look up at the lights for you. And then he cut the promo laying down and then said, all right, you more comfortable? Now you're more comfortable, Moxley? Being like, everybody just loses to you and makes you strong. I can't tell if I think it's the thing is this. I like it because I'm like, AEW doing stuff that's different and pushing boundaries is exciting for me, to me. You know, because you see this, what they're doing with the Randy Drew feud, why I bring them up together is that's more like what you expect from WWE. They do it well. This was an example of them doing it well. We'll all be excited for Randy Drew because of how they're doing it. And then this is very different. But I don't want to sound like an old guy, right? But is this crossing too far over the line of kayfabe?
Is that what you're concerned about?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't think so. I think
I think it's confusing, the campaign part. They're two separate points, and we can lay them out. I think the campaign thing, is that clicking with anyone? I actually find it, even though I'm a big MJF fan, I think he's great. This is corny. I think it's too corny for him.
Well, I think it just happened too quick. There was never really a campaign. He did it one day and then got the title shot the same night. So, like, I mean, why call it a campaign? So it transitioned from getting a title shot to now, for him campaigning for him to be champion, and replacing Mox as champion because Mox isn't a good champion. So it's like, it doesn't make any sense because in the sense of wrestling, like you said, why would you campaign, like you're campaigning and saying that you'll be a better champion? I guess that's what he's doing.
Yeah, like
that he'll be
I
a
thought
better
he was going to start
champion.
this campaign and it was going to
Just
go on for
become
a long time, and then they were
right.
going to eventually have to give in to him because everybody was like, they should give him the title shot. He's ranked number 1. Why are they not doing it? And then he's campaigning for this title shot he deserves. But then they just gave it to him, and he's still doing a campaign for a match he already has. But then he's saying shoot stuff when he's doing something that is so fake. Like it's but also so it's two separate things. I think that these two things are, in like Magic we call them nombos, right? Like it's a non-combo. These things, the synergy between these two things is not good. It's not good to be like, I'm doing like a goofy, like, hey, this sign is crooked, a character that big, but then also be like, you don't like me because I won't take a pin for you, right?
Well, I mean, I think MJF, if you want to talk about like real things affecting his ability to be the champion, he's extremely one note in my mind, and from what I see. And so it's like, if you want to talk about, well, oh, I'm not the champion, I'd be a better champion than you. It's like, well, have you really shown any kind of growth at all since you've been on TV? He's still just like the guy who is mean to the audience. No?
He definitely is. He's definitely in a zone. I see what you're saying, where he is so far and above other guys on mic, that no one is pushing him. Like, so he's not. So if you think about great moments of like Cena Reigns, where he's like, it's called a promo, dude. You know what I mean? Like Cena was elevating guys like left and right. Rollins, there was guys. So no one is elevating MJF. He's far and away better than these guys.
Doing it on his own,
personality and mic work. I mean, Kenny Omega, they showed a promo with him backstage that I was like, This is a pre-tape. You delete this. I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's like, you know.
Is like that's supposed to be the is it on purpose? Like, am I supposed to believe now? Have we gotten to the point with Kenny that we are supposed to believe that this guy's the lamest fucking dude in the world? Is that it?
I don't know.
Is that what he's going for?
I can't give up on Kenny yet, but I'm very.
Your favorite
I'm very
tag team in the
disappointed.
world is the Young Bucks?
I know.
What the fuck are you doing, Kenny? Snap out of it.
I know,
I'm
that
getting
was
sick
weird.
of this shit. Like this.
But, okay, I want to focus on this MJF thing.
Well,
I'm saying you guys,
I want to say.
if you're saying to
I will
somebody.
say something.
Okay, yeah, go.
I want to say something about it, and I think I know what it is. And I think it's not MJF. I think the problem. Definitely not Sammy Guevara. I think the problem.
Stop bringing up Sammy though, because I feel like we're trying to focus on.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the problem is a little man named Dean Ambrose is starting to come back through the embodiment of John Moxley. I think Moxley's getting fucking boring, dude. I think he is. I don't think this championship run has been anything that spectacular. I think it started off hot. I think the stuff with the Dark Order was okay, but man, he's kind of getting boring. Like he's like becoming almost one-dimensional again. Like I think there's better.
Can I give Moxley a chance to respond? Okay.
Yes.
Hold on.
I'm not a perfect person.
All right, so he's showing humility.
Listen, all I'm saying is that I think Mox has done a great job, but I think right now he's getting a little boring, and I think MJF is pulling the weight of this whole thing, and it's completely one-sided. Like,
okay, but you're not answering my thing, which is okay. So that's another element of this.
That's what I'm saying.
Weird? What? Okay, here's my question. What is it strange for your beef with another wrestler to be like, I won't let you be booked to beat me?
I feel like there is a example of that in WWE with Roman
AJ
Reigns
and Cena,
right? Or did they do it with that too?
Well, like AJ was like, "Yo, you bury people." Like
Right.
Yeah,
he's
that
like, "I'll
whole
go back
thing.
to Japan." Remember that?
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
oh man, that feud was so fucking good, man.
They had
Wow.
one of their matches. Maybe
The
it was
Royal Rumble
SummerSlam-
match.
Royal Rumble. Oh my god, those guys had killer matches. I mean, no one did it. Cena's one of the best fucking wrestlers of all time. Let's just.
He's one of the best guys of all
Didn't
time.
he-
He's really,
That's
really
what I
great.
mean. I mean, maybe
guys.
not in ring, but I mean, when his absence in wrestling has been felt. You know.
Yeah.
in that feud, didn't he? Wasn't there that match where he like Cena hit him with the attitude adjustment and then like did like a roll through, like
Yeah,
to pick
and
him
picked
up
him up
and did it
again.
again.
Yeah, he picked him
Yeah,
up
yeah,
first.
yeah.
He did like that thing that Hennigan does now,
Yeah,
where he picks him up. That's when he started doing the double FU
yeah.
to like seal
Or
the
that's what it
deal.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, to seal the deal, because he's like, this guy's putting this guy
Wow.
down takes another FU, which is such a sign of respect.
I will say one of my favorite things about those moments is when a wrestler goes to do a second finisher and thinks it's game over, and then it gets reversed on him or him or her, and it's like you're like, what? How did you just get hit by that and then reverse it? And then, oh man, I'm such a mark sometimes.
That's a
It's the
classic
best.
mark. That's a classic
Yeah.
Tulo mark.
Isn't
It
that
just
cool?
happened it just happened in the Cody and Scorpio match.
Sky.
So it's like
Yeah.
Scorpio Sky match.
But I'm saying, the MJF thing, it's like he's great. He's great. And then when Moxley came out, beat him up, I was into it. I actually think, so you're saying Moxley's boring. I'm actually still into Moxley's title run.
No, I get
dig
it.
I feel like he's in this weird spot of being mad at a guy who's doing something really confusing. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see where this goes. If you would like to send me us a message, maybe a cash-in next week.
Yeah.
Here, maybe we'll focus the cash-ins. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Hell
that.
yeah.
Cash in on a
Please.
topic.
Yeah, cash-in topic. The
The
topic
rules
is,
still apply. 1 minute or less.
yeah, you tell me
Yes.
why you think the MJF campaign works. I'm open
And
to
not
it.
and if you're just because you're truly just an AEW mark, we know who you are. So just give us an actual like a real like I'd want to hear someone that's maybe likes both shows, not just because you're an AEW mark.
The fact that you just creamed your jeans over thinking about like a hypothetical reversal, and
Yeah.
then you have the audacity to turn around.
Yeah.
And go, oh, if you're just
Yeah.
an AEW
I'm
mark,
getting sick of this
So
shit, man. I'm getting
Uh,
sick of it. People are going crazy, man. Everybody's losing their minds. They're so
Everybody
one-sided.
loses their minds.
It's so crazy.
All right. Cool. Too low. All right. So that's what I'm saying. Then, all right. I mean, that's enough on it. Yeah. So let's hear what you guys have to say about that. One thing I will compliment MJF on that I think is so fucking good is he talks a huge game. He does some amazing nostalgic old school heel work where he talks a huge game and then when he comes out he gets beat up like a little fucking baby. Like, he is not tough at all.
He ate that fucking paradigm shift hard.
Yeah, and then he's like basically hysterically crying. Like he switches, and that is really kind of rare. Guys protect their characters so much more than that. I also thought he was like, check the Voms. He comes from the Voms. The second he showed up, he was like, like, oh, he's coming. Don't like the second his music hit, he was horrified, like terrified.
Yeah, that is really
pissing
good.
in his pants. That was so good. And literally, do you hear them talk about Voms, which like in theater terms is just like the entrances that are not the entrance, And they were like, yeah, I think. I might be making that up. Does that have to do with vomit? Like that's like where you walk to vomit?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think maybe I made that up. But but they were
cross-check.
explaining it. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm just remembering a line that Taz said during the match I was watching with my wife that made us both hysterically laugh.
Oh, what was it?
Because Kenny Omega gave Marco Stunt a dragon sleeper suplex. And he had a water bottle in his back pocket. And then the water bottle, like after he gave it, the water bottle went fine. He's like, he knocked a water bottle out of his ass.
Oh my God, I heard that.
So
I wasn't looking at the TV when that happened, but I heard him say it. And I was like, what was that in reference to?
Yeah, it was so funny.
So you're kind of right. It is based on the word vomitorium.
Right.
But a vomitorium is a passage situated below or behind a tier of seats in an amphitheater or a stadium. And it's because the word vomitorium.
Is that from Greece when they would overeat?
No.
In ancient Greece?
So that's what I mean. The word vomit means in Latin to spew forth. And so it's just an entryway that it's an egress out. It spews forth into the main auditorium.
Spews people forth.
Right.
Right.
So you are the vomit. If you are coming through the vomitorium,
yeah, it's metaphoric vomit people.
Right.
Yeah, that's even better. That's even
comes
better.
in through the Voms.
All right, Tulo. Where's Tulo? Oh my
You didn't
god.
know.
Yes, he'd take a piss break because he's drinking that venti fucking iced tea.
Tulo, I'm gonna throw it over to you for Raw Underground. Tulo, I'm throwing it over
Yeah, what's
to
up?
you.
Okay.
All right, I'm
ready to
throw it over
receive.
to you for the Raw Underground. Okay. Shayna Baszler. You see you wearing a Shayna two-time shirt. Shayna Baszler
That's right, baby.
is one of your guys. She was
One of
the
my guys.
star of Raw Underground this week.
Sure was.
What did you think?
Well, I mean, I asked for this. I said this was it. There's two people I wanted to show up, three kind of, on Raw Underground that were women. I wanted Nia Jax to show up. I wanted her to be dragging like Pat Buck by his belt buckle and throw him in there and beating the shit out of him. And I said, if we're gonna do this, there's nobody better than Shayna Baszler to be on there. And I was like, somehow we got to get Shayna Mandy doing some kind of brawl there in some kind of way. So when she showed up, I was like, perfect. And this is exactly what Raw Underground is good for. This exact moment right here is it doesn't need to be about anything other than proving that you're a bad motherfucker. Shayna Baszler just can't do that in a regular wrestling ring. She should be doing it in a place like Raw Underground that makes it feel like more like badass and like you're doing something. Doing something crazy. Zoom's electric. Yo, if you're listening, you have just. I hope you stopped a while
Eric's
ago.
dog is the star of this Zoom. This week.
Yo, Maggie is killing it.
Talk to it.
Yeah, the dog is killing it.
Eric walked
God.
away for a second, and then
I
her
have to walk
camera,
away too. So
angled down a little bit. Anyway, all right, guys. So yeah, I thought the Raw Underground was a good time this week.
Yeah.
I think that I'm into it. I kind of was disappointed because like this week I felt like they would lay out a little bit more of like what it's gonna be You know what I mean? But it was kind of just like an extension of last week. But I do think this is a good use. I agree. This is a good use of Shayna Baszler. I totally dig it. I was bummed again going back to. I thought she was going to beat up some dudes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is though. I do agree with kind of the main kind of message here, which is that it's a good place for a character like her to make sense. Like it's a perfect context now for that character, and that doesn't go away. So now when she does go to like a traditional ring, what we've seen in Raw Underground carries forward. So it's like, oh yeah, she's like a badass cage fighter.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about Raw Underground is like it's kind of like another NXT or whatever in a way where it's like it's a good way to establish yourself. I agree. I really think I love that idea we were talking about last week. I think it was one of your guys' ideas, just making these fights for money. I would love to see
stacks of
money.
cash.
Yeah,
Gotta get the cash.
No belts, just money. Like someone's just making a lot of money in the underground, because then you can be like, that money. You know, I love money because it's grounds shit. Like money is power in this country and this world. So why not? If you make a lot of money in Raw Underground, that can affect your character, how your character comes into Raw. Yeah. Now you have a better training camp. You have a different style, right? Like you pay for a manager. You come in showing up on a nicer car.
Fuck, man.
Right? Like there's cool shit you could do.
And it's built into Shane's character. His song is "Here Comes the Money."
Yes.
Like win Shane McMahon's money. It's him. He's finding
it's his money.
He writes you a fucking check. He's like, it's not going to bounce.
And then if, you know what, it's such a good place for wrestlers to go to that aren't getting booked right now. Instead of going to main event, come to Raw Underground, prove yourself here. And then if you fucking prove yourself here and you get booked on the main cards again, I want a percentage of whatever fucking you're making up there. And Shane's just rolling in the fucking money, baby.
Yeah. And since you said Shayna should be in it and she showed up, I'm going to let them all know, here's what I want eventually. Not now.
Okay, here we go.
Not next week. Maybe not even 2 weeks from now. But one day on Raw Underground, Brock Lesnar should stroll into that space and literally beat up everyone in the ring, everyone watching, Shane McMahon. It should be a pile of bodies.
Yeah. Brock.
No more Mr. Nice Jew.
No, that, you know what? We've always been asking, when's the Bobby versus Brock Lesnar match gonna happen? I don't want a fucking match on fucking at WrestleMania. I want it at Raw Underground if you're gonna do it. I'll be right back. I gotta let my dog in.
Yeah, totally.
Is his dog texting him? How does he know?
I don't know. Tulo's doing his thing, but listen, I just think that Raw Underground is a win.
Yeah.
Aaron texted me saying that Mike was all in on it.
Yes, he discovered Raw Underground on Monday, and he was like, what even is this? So I explained as the best I could. He's like, this is lit. And he watched Raw Underground. He's like, I love this, because he also likes Shane O'Mac, so he's fully on board with any of his harebrained schemes. He really liked it.
I like it. The camera work is cool. I think it's a complete win. Now, if you notice, they said that it starts at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Raw. Well, I guess that's both coasts. I watch on Eastern Time.
Same.
But so that's cool that, like, when 10 hits, that's more structure to the show, which we've been asking for. It's like, 10, we get to see Raw Underground.
Well, and it makes the last hour more palatable, because you're like, okay, we know at the end it's going to be something different. So the first 2 hours of regular programming isn't like a slog.
Right. Yeah. Also, you might, if you're not around at 8, you might be like, I'll turn it on at 10 for Raw Underground. Like, it gives you a reason to care about the hour changes, like of a long 3-hour show. It's a marathon of a show. It's really 3-hour-long shows, So it's great. That's what I would do if I was there. I would do that. I would figure out a way to split up every hour into like a different show. I think that
I wouldn't even do it. You don't have to split it up though, because what they're doing Raw Underground is perfect. These are like 3-minute little sequences.
Right.
You just spruce in that last hour, because what was the last hour? Oh my God. There's still an hour left. Now it's like the first 2 hours of this week were like, I was like, whoa, this is an incredible show. And now we got Raw Underground. I got something to look forward to, not just the main event. I mean, I don't know what the fuck happened this week of Raw, but
I just think if you don't like Raw Underground, I feel like you're not taking.
Well, you know what? You know what was
taking,
funny?
You're not like that's not a fun personality.
It was a weird start for it this week. It was kind of more casual.
Yeah.
It's like they pulled the reins back. There was no women dancing.
Right.
There was no
Yeah,
go-go
there were no
dancers,
go-go
right? It was almost like they listened.
For shame.
Oh, people are saying this, people are saying that. These are the things that worked. These are the things that didn't.
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing though. I'm not connecting with Shane just like talking. I said it in the group, but like more like toned down version of Moro or something. Someone that knows how to call the moves and the things to make it seem. So when Shane is putting somebody in an armbar, Moro's yelling, "Oh my God, she's gonna snap his arm or something."
Get a photo arm.
Yeah, and you have Shane there. He could still be yelling and talking and stuff and interfering, but having
Shane,
some
yeah.
kind of
Shane
just
kinda-
bring the energy
Shane-
up just a little bit
Yeah,
more, even
Shane
amp it up
is
more.
just not. His charisma
He's not the guy to
just,
be
like,
calling
sunk.
it.
I don't know
I don't
what
need
it is
a-
about Shane.
I don't need a whole panel. I just need Moro. And you know what? Honestly, Moro's getting lost.
Ground.
Taker.
Shane should be walking around taking bets. Like he should be walking around like
Yes.
taking people's bets and shit.
Yes.
And also,
like
why
Kumite.
is he dressing like he always dresses? I feel like
Yeah,
if
and
we're
Henley.
getting into the like fucking,
Fashion.
I want him
Well,
to
this
be
is more
like,
Dana
I want him
White.
to wear like 30 necklaces, glasses, like a fucking stupid
should
hat,
just-
full
just
like
a-
douche.
A Shane
Villain.
O'Mac baseball jersey, but with the sleeves cut off, man. Show the guns, you know? and
Anyway,
all
that
the
being said,
buttons open.
the bottom line with Raw Underground is that more of you guys are watching. People are texting me about it. People are talking. They're doing something different. Raw Underground is a success. That's
This
just,
next week, this next episode though, is the moment for them to kick it up a notch because they
love
got lucky with the
Kick it up
first
a
one. It piqued people's interest. Then the second one, it's like, yep, this is a thing. Now that third one, they have to do something super surprising.
It's the perfect thing. Like, look what Shayna did this week on it, right? She beat the shit out of 3 chicks. Shane should be like, oh, well, that's 3. So here's 10 for this one. Here's 10 for this one. Here's 10 for this one. That $10,000.
Yeah.
Now everybody's like,
Right.
what the fuck am I doing sitting
Oh,
in
yeah.
catering? You got the guys
Oh,
eating
my
in catering
God.
like, yo, Shayna just made $30,000 for beating up 3 chicks. And then they go there, but those guys should get their fucking ass kicked because they think they're tough. They
Right.
think they're like a Mojo Raleigh. Like, you know,
Pray
like,
for
Joe,
Mojo.
I'm hyped.
Yeah.
And then he just gets his ass kicked by
Your
some
next
jabroni. He's
stop.
like,
The
dude,
Jabroni.
this is why you're sitting on the sidelines. You're not that good. You're not that tough. You know, like
Can't hang in the underground.
you can really develop this into it. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't make it more than what it has to be.
Right.
Just keep fucking sprinkling it in to give us something else.
Right. There has to be, maybe not necessarily. I'm not saying they need to like make it more complicated, but they need to put some thought into how to make it surprising this third time because
Yeah.
people are in,
Right.
so now they have to keep them.
yeah.
Mhm.
But it'd be really cool if someone had a big fight coming up and they like go to train in the underground or something.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Drew.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perfect. Drew's got fucking Randy coming up. Let him just go and just kick every.
oh my God, he's coming in the
Drew
underground.
in the
Boom,
underground.
Just Claymore and everybody on
It
his
should
way
be
out.
Shane should pull up their song on his iPhone and just like play.
Yo, when I was Jamie opened up for Dave Chappelle, and in the club,
Oh.
Chappelle walks around with a
In the
fucking
club.
old school boombox. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
seen this, but it's Bluetooth, so it looks like one with like a tape deck.
Uh-huh.
But it's fucking huge and booms. Like the speakers literally go like boom, 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 right? Like that'd be awesome if Shane just had a fucking boombox.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
They'll
Remember
have one
Brock?
in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, Brock Party.
Yeah, Brock Party, man.
Oh,
the
that
best.
was
Party
the
was
crazy.
so good.
I miss
Remember he
Brock
put
Party.
He put speakers decal
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, and
No,
they
it
were
wasn't
on the
decal. It was
Brock
actual
Party
fucking
shirt.
speakers.
Really?
Those are real speakers, dude. Yeah, for sure. They made the fucking briefcase.
They
into a fucking
modded the
speaker.
briefcase. That was the
Dude.
funniest. That was like,
Dude, Mustafa Ali had the briefcase in his hand. This was supposed to be like a moment of a lifetime for this guy, and Brock just came running down.
He joined the match with for no reason, right?
and completely made it. Oh yeah, he took out Sami Zayn or some shit.
Oh, it made no sense.
Wrestling's amazing, and that's why
Rock
Raw
party.
Underground will never make sense.
Oh my God. All right, let's move on to something that it was amazing. I mean, Seth Rollins was incredible this week.
Oh my God,
I mean,
dude.
let's talk about Big Daddy fucking Seth. This fucking guy. What flavor?
Whoa, what flavor?
that beer?
Montauk Summer Ale.
Oh, that's
Wow.
Montauk Summer Ale. The
Yeah.
fucking.
He
most
only
Long Island
drinks.
shit.
He only drinks Long Island.
Yeah,
beers.
totally.
The Levittown Pale Ale.
I had a Montauk Wave Chaser
Wow.
IPA.
The shores of Montauk.
Yeah, this is the
Can.
Farmingdale IPA.
I was gonna
Those
say
exist.
I'm gonna guess that there's like a town called Somerset. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, there is one
I
there.
bet.
Oyster Bay.
Oh my God, this is just called the Belmore Brew. All right,
Man.
but here's the deal. So,
Yeah. Seth.
Seth Rollins truly beat the shit out of Dominic. He hit him with
Brutalized.
that kendo stick like 40 times. If there's pictures of Dominic after, I mean,
Oh
he's
my God,
backstage.
they look bad. It looks bad.
It was uncomfortable, dude.
it was
I did not-
uncomfortable.
For
And
having
Seth
him on with
couldn't
his
have looked
arms in the
more
ropes.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Seth loved it. He was looking in the camera, being like, "Look what your kid," and it was fucking. You could see it was like some of his best acting. His hair was nuts. He looked like a $1,000,000.
At the minimum.
A milli?
At the minimum.
A milli.
A
Yo,
milli.
can you get that for the sound drop? So every time someone looks like
Oh,
a million
what
bucks.
they look like? A milli.
A
Blue
milli.
I think I could get that. I think I could
Yeah,
pull
it's
that
easy.
off.
You can license a Lil Wayne song for this.
Just
Um,
pull Tulo saying it just there.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I have that
everybody
song
be quiet
right
for 2 seconds.
Hold on. Oh,
They're coming back to Fridays.
all right. But yo,
Those were the days.
Oh, man.
Those were the days.
Yeah, Seth was incredible.
Seth also had this sick sequence that I sent to you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Where
Oh,
he's
yeah.
wrestling Humberto Carrillo. Carrillo does a
Moonsault.
back moonsault off the top rope. Rollins hits him with the feet to the face, right?
Yep.
Gets up, gives him a kick, goes into a power bomb. He gives him like that side kick, the one that him and Alberto Del Rio do, the one that he was using a little bit as his finish, like the
Uh-huh.
kind of like the low super kick. You know
Did you
what I'm
say
talking
Aborto Del Rio?
Aborto.
about? Aborto, Pride of Mexico.
Alberto Del Rio.
I was looking at pictures of that guy. He's such a stud, that guy. I know he's a piece of trash, right?
Total piece of shit. Yeah.
But he's like kind of like sociopathic, right? That
Yeah.
guy is like straight up like just bad dude, right?
Yeah,
but-
he would like call out of work, which is wrestling. Like the night of, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I got fucking stabbed." They like wouldn't show up.
Wait, and didn't he get arrested? This is not funny, but didn't he get arrested for like abusing a woman or
Yeah.
something?
He
Yeah.
put hands on Paige. I
Domestic
think.
abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then his next wife.
But I'm not talking about Paige. Like the next girl he was with, abused.
Yeah.
He like forced her to like do stuff and then had sex with her, right?
That sounds
He like
great.
humiliated her, like made
Sounds
her
about
like.
right.
All right, anyway, it's disturbing. But what were we talking about? Oh, so then Rollins,
Seth.
he gives her the side. He gives him like that sidekick. What's an enziguri? I always forget. That's a kick.
Enziguri is the kick. Yeah, it's like
I
when
think
you
it is an
to the
yeah,
side
yeah.
of the head, like the side kick.
I think that is what it is. He gives like an enziguri, right? I get that confused with the other word that's a non-word. All right, but anyways, he gives the enziguri. I'm sure it's what is that, Japanese enziguri? Have no idea.
I don't know.
Okay, and then he goes into a power bomb, right? But he holds him on the bottom, flips him up into the stomp position. So he like, right? Like he gives him the
Oh
power bomb,
yeah,
then flips
right.
him. But while he flips him in a way, it's like very fast. He's already
Riddle does it. Riddle
bounced-
does it.
Riddle does it all the time. Riddle does it, and then he goes into his knee. You know,
Into the
but he
knee.
does exactly that, where you give you a power bomb and then you flip them back up onto their feet, but they
Yeah.
stay on their knees.
On their knees.
He's already bouncing off the ropes for the stomp. It looked
Yeah.
cool. It was sick.
Carrillo
it was-
ate that stomp like a sandwich, dude.
He
Yeah.
ate that stomp, man.
Yeah, and props to Carrillo. Also,
Baptized
like,
them.
That's a two guys dancing together. You know, those are
Yeah.
that's couple skating. You know
Let
what
me
I
tell you
mean?
something, Dan Black.
Ice
There has
dancing.
never been a time for Seth Rollins to just come forward and be like, I'm calling the stomp the baptism now, because he is literally baptizing dudes out
For
here.
you. Yeah.
He's baptizing them. Like, it's the stomp is lethal right now, and every time he does it to someone, they just disappear off the face of the earth. They're gone.
Yeah, I mean, he could. He at the least, he could say "You're welcome" after a stomp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the
Yeah.
least, like act like he did you such a favor, even if you don't want it.
Yeah, it's
But
so
man,
good.
him beating up Dominic Mysterio. Props to Dominic Mysterio for that.
I'm
Dominic
watching it
Mysterio
right now.
Yeah, check
It was
out.
disturbing. It was legit disturbing. I didn't feel comfortable watching it. I mean, this kid, he just, think about the story too. He just signed his contract to become a professional wrestler.
I wouldn't be
Something very
surprised.
disturbing about the way he's tied up in the ropes. It's like
It's
a
like-
little
like- Like religious.
yeah.
I
I
wouldn't be
think they're setting up
surprised.
for a Samoa Joe Rollins feud.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it feels like. It feels like Joe is kind of like watching this unfold, and it's gonna sicken him. You know what I mean? And Joe's looking beefy, and he looks awesome.
Yeah.
It does.
Joe should be just fatter, and then he can wrestle a little slower, but he looks good fat.
I said it. I think, does anybody have a better job in the WWE than Samoa Joe right now? I mean, the guy is just having the time of his life on that commentary crew.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Rey Mysterio told Dominic, like, look, if you want to be in this business, you're gonna have to kind of pay your dues, and part of that is like you're gonna have to take these kendo stick shots.
Yeah,
He's
that's what
He's
it
got a
felt
lot
like,
of
right?
work to do if he
Didn't
wants to
it
be in
feel
this
like that?
business.
It legit felt like that was a
Gotta hit the
conversation that
gym
happened.
ASAP.
Yeah.
Dominic should already be in better shape, I would say. I mean, how old is he?
He's skipping leg
Is
day.
he like
for
18?
sure, man.
Isn't he? He's like very young.
I think he's gonna
He should
kill
get in
it. I think
shape
he's gonna
now
tear the
while he
house
can.
down.
He was just a teenager. Like when they first did this, like when he first showed up, he was like 12 years old.
That was when he
He
showed
was
up
Nicholas.
second, by the way.
Yeah.
When he
Played
showed up
Nicholas
in the Eddie match, the ladder match, to see who his parent would be. The they did like an Elian Gonzalez angle with Dominic when he was a little
Did
kid.
you see what Rollins posted on Instagram?
He's 23.
Obviously, they don't talk about it
23,
anymore.
okay.
What?
He's
Did
23.
you see what Rollins posted on Instagram? It was him, like, and
Oh,
it
I
was like
yoked at
baby
23.
Dominic.
No.
No, I didn't see that.
It was good. It's a cool post. It's on Rollins' Instagram. It's like he like edited it so it looks like he's in the ring instead of Eddie, and it's like young Dominic, and he like wrote something. It's a good post.
Okay, so
Wow.
in 2005, he made his first appearance. This is, by the way, you can look this up. Little Dominic Mysterio. He made his first appearance when he was 8. And part of his father's ongoing feud with Eddie Guerrero, in which the two rivals fought for custody for him.
Oh my God.
Mysterio defeated Guerrero at SummerSlam, and he storyline. It is literally like an Elian Gonzalez storyline. It's insane.
It's crazy.
Wrestling was so crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that our Mexican wrestling buddies have better storylines now than
Right.
you're gonna fight for custody of a kid, or like JBL's gonna try to deport you, or like
Oh, JBL. Oh my God. The stuff JBL does would get him. He would never get any other job just for
Right.
being in this footage. By the way, do you see how, because we have Zoom, I can show it. Humberto Carrillo's walked down the ramp. He has a thing where he's like,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
do you
yeah,
notice it?
yeah. Like he in his
So what
mind,
is
he's
that?
like he's in a coat closet and he's like trying to like
Yeah, absolutely.
Sidle by.
Yes, yeah. Like,
sideways.
You guys have to check out the Zoom footage to see Dan do
This has
it.
been a very, very visual pod. I understand that. He walks like he's a cartoon drawing, like of a superhero. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's surprisingly easy to act out on Zoom, even sitting down.
yeah.
Roberto Carrillo, very talented. Yeah,
Incredible
so anyway,
athlete,
good
yeah.
for Rollins. Rollins got to be. He's just he's like one of the most consistent dudes in wrestling.
Especially during
Yeah.
quarantine.
Yeah, you can always count. You can really count on him.
This
can't
was that
wait
moment.
to see his heel his next
Mm.
heel title run is going to be a fucking.
This was
blast.
that moment for him. This was that like, this was oh shit, Rollins found it moment. You know, like kudos to fucking Dominic for taking that because that's insane.
Yeah,
Ugh.
It's insane.
Dominic
It's
23
insane.
should be in better shape. He wants to be a.
You got hit with a
Six foot
kendo
two.
stick,
Gonna be in
Dan.
better shape.
Dan, how long did that kendo stick fucking those shots that you took at Cal? Oh, I'm sorry, at DCM.
Yeah, so last year I took kendo stick
God.
shot to the wall, and by the way, you could still see the spot that like the worst spot. If you look, I could point it out. Or maybe now it's just starting to be gone. I don't know. I'll try to show it to you, but it stays. It's like if you get hit in the spots where it really connects and your skin goes like close to black, that doesn't go away for like 8 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like but the smaller stuff goes away like in a couple weeks, you know? But
I mean,
Dominic's going to be bruised at SummerSlam. Like if he has his shirt off, you're still going to see some of that stuff.
I hope he rocks his like some kind of gear homage to his dad or something, right?
He should just wear the full, like it should be the first time where he dons the Mysterio mask.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would do. Even if he takes it off down the line.
I hope they do that.
I just think like, and that's part of like wrestling, right? It's like he was Rey Mysterio Jr. Like you take these characters live on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's part of that. Okay. But yeah, last thing I want to talk about. The Fiend Alexa moment on SmackDown. So, Fiend came back to target Alexa again. He went to go like they pulled like almost like that Khaleesi. What's his name?
Drago.
Drago, right? Is it Drago? Was his name that?
Yeah.
I was thinking I was getting confused with Rocky IV.
Oh,
Khal
yeah.
Drogo?
Khal
Yeah.
Drago, yeah.
Yeah. Jason Momoa. So, like you have that moment where, like, you know, he would always rape her. You know, I'm sorry to be like, this is what it was. He would always have sex with her non-consensually. And then moment she like takes the power back, and that's kind of I felt like the moment to have with Alexa. Alexa's like the first person to really like see the Fiend as not a beast, as like a Beauty and the Beast moment. Very cool moment, I thought. Really slick. Like she literally like pet his mask. You're like, and he didn't know what Bray. I mean, God, the guy's. He can act even through a fucking mask.
Yeah.
See his toxic masculinity of like, oh, no one's ever fucking. When I'm less like this, everyone's scared of me. This person sees me still. Fucking great.
This person sees me. Right? Like, is there anything? Like, isn't that what Bray Wyatt, like the character, has been talking about this whole time? Like no one takes him seriously. No one sees him. He sees him. It's beautiful.
Oh,
It really is.
Yeah, because
he just wants to be seen.
Alexa is so. It's just like this is like great, right? It's you know what? It's just like the reality of the situation with WWE. Sorry to be like this guy. Sorry to be Donnie Dirt Sheets. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, we're going in. We're diving. Let's go, baby. Oh, here we go.
My sheets are clean this week, baby.
Sorry to be Donnie Dirt Sheets, but it sucks that it takes WWE going to their lowest ratings in history to try.
Right.
Like, right? The stuff they're doing is not we didn't even mention Retribution, like, because it's kind of stupid, right? Like it's not that cool, you know? And also we all kind of know that it's not going to be anything good. Like it's just kind of impossible. Maybe we'll be wrong. But even something that we all agree is bad was something new and fresh. And it took them hitting their lowest ratings ever and getting fucking lazy to do it. It's kind of stressful. So this like Alexa booking, we missed out on like 6 months of decent Alexa booking, just like booking.
He keeps trying to say Alexa Bliss,
Alexa
but book it.
Booksings.
Alexa
Alexa's
Blixings.
Thanks for nothing.
Wow, all
You're
right.
dismissed. Bye-bye.
Like we haven't seen that Alexa in so fucking long, and she's so talented. She's one of their top talents. So that is frustrating. Like it feels like AEW, these guys, because they're young, fresh, and hungry, every week they take that show so seriously. You know?
Yeah. Young, dumb, and full of confidence.
Yeah.
I think the vibe is definitely
That's
changed.
a way to clean that line up. It's from a D12
I mean,
song, I believe. But,
also, I would also say kudos to WWE, but like, I mean, the women's division, especially on Raw, like, we have 4 women's matches this week. I mean, Bayley versus Asuka was like insane. I mean, like an instant classic. It just makes Sasha versus Asuka at SummerSlam that match is going to be match of the year, like easily.
SummerSlam will pass the Bechdel test.
I mean, Lana and Natty even, like, it's like, wow, they're making things relevant with the women, and you can't even get a match from a women's match on AEW that means anything. So like,
but
literally,
Nick, there's not a lot of room on a 2-hour show.
And I'm
not a lot of time for everybody.
I only do is talk
Cody's
AEW
here.
on this.
Cody's here. He's taking out Tulo. He doesn't like Tulo. Listen,
like
the Nightmare Family does not like to be criticized. We will. If you fuck with the Nightmare Family, we will leave Twitter. Okay?
Yeah, we will. We will.
Fine.
We'll bounce. I'll leave for 3 days.
I have no tolerance, and maybe this is me being insensitive. I had no tolerance for people who like get like so much Twitter hate that they're like, it like crushed me, and like, well, like it's people could. I don't think people can hurt me on Twitter. I just don't. I don't think. I'm probably wrong, but like I just don't even read Twitter. Like, you know.
I thankfully left Twitter a month and a half ago. I've never felt better. It's a garbage place for garbage people.
Stupid. I'm just saying. No, but I think no. There's only one. But
oh wow.
No. I don't even know what happened with Brandy, to be honest. I didn't even look it up. I just saw she did it. I don't even know what happened there, but
it's like so not worth even discussing.
I don't even know what happened, so maybe I'm being insensitive. I actually didn't even look into it. But
I'm just saying, take notes. I mean, like the Raw women's booking was like incredible.
I mean, WWE women's wrestling right now is pretty fucking good across the board, and AEW's women's wrestling is their best wrestlers in a wheelchair. You know,
right?
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Like Hikaru Shida they've never even attempted to give her a promo, right?
Yeah, no, zero.
Like, how are we supposed to care about her at all? And then Nyla Rose, they like pretty much abruptly ended her like dominant run.
Yeah,
you know. So,
but
like,
Dan, how are you gonna have Brandon Cutler on if you have women's?
Stop criticizing. Stop criticizing. Don't stop criticizing the TNT champion and his family and their company. Shut up. Shut up. Do you have something to say, Newman?
Yeah, I just think that
don't do it. Don't do it.
Newman,
I will leave Twitter.
What the fuck? They cut his mic?
Why don't you shut up, Steve?
Yeah.
We can't hear Newman. The Nightmare Family.
Cut my mic. There it is. There it is.
Oh, there it is. Back.
Nightmare Family.
You think you know me?
No, I honestly don't know what happened there. But I love Cody and Brandy's. They're cool. I love AEW. But I'm just saying.
Here's what I understand.
Like, why people
if
get
someone
so
was
worked
like,
up about?
but it's okay.
It's people you don't even know who they are. They're just saying shit like.
No, but that's exactly
right?
the point. That's exactly the point. I can totally empathize with somebody being like, "Fuck this! Like, I don't need to be here."
Right.
Leaving Twitter. Like, why am I on Twitter? What is Twitter?
Right.
People are attacking me or criticizing me on my targeted marketing profile. I'm out. I'm out. It's just a way. It's just a way for advertisers to send ads at you. You put your personal information in. You use the word wrestling. You get wrestling. That's all it is. That's all it is.
But Brandy's like a public figure, so I think she should be able to stand up to the scrutiny and just stay on social media.
Sure, but I definitely, like I said, like if somebody in that moment realizes the uselessness of something like Twitter and decides to take that out of their life, I totally understand that.
Did she come back to Twitter?
I think so.
Never mind. I take it all back.
They're the ones who are doing the advertising.
Yeah, I don't actually like. Here's the thing. I don't know anything about the situation, so I'm upset I even brought it up. I was just trying to have fun with this.
She got criticized for heels and the program of what heels was, and it was a lot of fair criticism. And instead of taking the criticism and revamping whatever it was, they got defensive and didn't
left Twitter for 3 days.
And said some things back to people that they probably shouldn't have said. I think she said something along the lines of "you sound like a barking little dog" or something like that. To someone that was like, "This makes no sense." This, and
well, from my understanding, that AEW heels is the way you pay to have a voice it about women's wrestling, right? Or maybe that's my loose
that
understanding
was
about
that
it.
was like a lot of the grief that they were taking from it. Yeah,
Right,
that and
and so
like
there's no women. There's like almost no women segments on AEW. It's just true, you know.
yeah,
Right, and
it's
then
like
you
it's
have
a
to
weird
pay
time.
to like be in the women's club and like watch it on YouTube if you want
Right.
to see the matches.
And like I think like so it's a really interesting thing, but like it's I understand why you make like when you're booking whatever they messed it up, whatever people make mistakes, bookers make
Bro,
mistakes, whatever.
They're all.
But I'm
It's
saying,
about the demo. That's
well,
all they
yes,
fucking care about.
right? Because it's an 1849 men demo is what they're going
That's
after.
it. That's all they fucking care about. They're trying. They saw Raw's numbers spiking down, and their numbers were starting to go up, and they're like, "We're throwing all the rules out. We got to go win this thing." And it's exactly the same kind of mentality that got WCW killed as well.
I have
You
no
try
I have
and
no
do-
problem with that really. I have no problem with that in terms of like if you're honest about it. If you're like, here's what we're doing.
They are
Like
though.
we're doing this just because we're trying to win so that we can change stuff, and this is like our tactic we're using right now to get on the radar. Whatever, if that's what they want to do, I'm not saying it's what I would do. I'm just saying, but when you start just being like,
you don't have to look further than
we're
what
this,
Tony
but we're
Khan is
something
saying.
else.
But you don't have to look further than what Tony Khan's talking about, because all he talked about that whole entire last week was the demo and how it was the best year of his it was the best most successful night of his life because he won the views and he had his things up. They're just going for the demo. They want to get the ratings up. They want to win a ratings war and puff their chest out and do it. So they know that they can sacrifice the women's wrestling because what are people in the 18 to 49 demo going to be most interested in? They're going to be interested in a bunch of fucking dudes in the ring, like 12 at a time that they did last week. So
They need
we
more
get it.
babes. They need more babes.
Uh-oh.
Nick,
I'm back.
Mic drop.
Yeah. Right.
Low
Well,
power mode.
Aaron, how do you feel about that? If knowing that what Tulo's saying is that they're going for the demo, and the demo's mostly male, and the women's segments they see their ratings go down, let's say, and so they're trying to win and establish the company so that they could start a second show, which is already in the cards, and have more time for the keep the lights on to build the women talent stronger.
Right. I mean, on one hand, it's like they know where their bread is buttered because all of their stars are men, and like the women's division is quite thin. But Britt Baker's in a wheelchair, and she's for me a big draw. And like someone like Abaddon, I would like to see more of. And there's other people who I'm like, oh, I wish I could see them wrestle, but again, it's like with the division so thin, for me personally, it doesn't take away from the show, but I also don't think that there's like equity there when you're kind of relegating this whole tournament to YouTube. You're making women pay to be in the club. It's like, it's kind of bogus. And I do think that if they have, I know 2 hours is more than enough time, but maybe with more time they could have a more robust women's program and more talent.
Yeah. I think that's well put, because you said Abaddon, which I saw a wrestler I saw one time. I hope they're developing her, but it was like she like caught our eye. She had the Bugenhagen syndrome. Like she caught us right away, and we're like, shit, what's going on with her? But maybe she needs to develop more. I don't know.
Bugenhagen, by the way.
Boogs. Getting $4.95 max on the press.
A professional extra.
Jesus Christ.
$4.95. You know how much weight that is?
That's like
insane.
All of our weights combined.
Yeah.
Probably.
Wait, Bugenhagen benched $4.95?
Max I tagged you in it. I said, and then you re-tagged me in when he did the $4.50. But he did $4.95 max one time.
$4.50 on a bench is so fucking heavy.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. That is so
and
strong.
I found out about him the other day. He's a high school what's it called? All American wrestler too. He was in the state championships for Wisconsin, and he went to the University of Wisconsin as a wrestler, which is the rivals to the Minnesota Gophers, where Brock Lesnar went.
Right.
And learn something new every day.
Wow.
That's your moment of Bliss and Tulo.
Clarity.
Actually, this moment
Moment of
started
Alexa Bliss.
talking about Bliss, somehow veered into this. Look, whatever. I think that okay, so whatever. We'll save some of this AEW NXT stuff for the bonus episode. I didn't even watch NXT yet, which by the way, I did on purpose because I got some criticism about the double rig. So I'm watching AEW and NXT separately. I'll say I'll watch
Wow.
NXT and we'll talk about it on the bonus app to give NXT its proper due. I'm ready to see Johnny Gargano at home. We're being
Saw
invited
that.
into the home of Gargano and
Watch that
Candice
part.
LeRae. Let's see what happens. But last thing I do want to say, because this ties into what we're saying with the Fiend thing, we'll see where they go with that. Braun cut a promo. He's finally showed himself since
Oh my God.
the horror show at Extreme Rules. He is, I guess, changed a little bit, meaning he feels a little more scary, right? Like he was a little more like, yeah. So he's emerged from the swamp.
With swamp in his
Found his
like
Zoom.
throat, I guess.
Yeah.
He's gargling
Found
swamp
Zoom.
water.
We'll see. I guess my question to you guys is, if what it is that he emerges after going into the swamp of destiny or whatever, and he comes out of it, and he comes out of the swamp of destiny, and he is now like a more evil, hard-edged version of himself. Is that enough? Is that cool for you guys? Does that work for you guys? Or does he need to like? You got to see him like. You want to see a shot of him being like. Like coming out. He emerges
Like just lay on the. Like
or
just
does he
coughing
need a
up water.
fiend mask? Does he need to go like he needs a mask also? You're fully converted because we're gonna keep having these existential and like conceptual fiend Bray matches, and everybody seems to lose them. Is it just there's some kind of emotional fallout for it? Is there a consequence? Like when John Cena comes back, would you be upset if he just comes back after the last time we saw him, he just disappeared?
Yeah.
You know, should he be affected?
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I was saying about Braun. Like, what happened? Like, there's been like a month now since that pay-per-view, right? Like, he just.
That's what I'm saying.
He
So
just drowned. He's gonna come back. So is this,
what would
this-
make
this-
you
this-
feel satisfied about him coming back from being disappeared into the swamp of destiny for 3 months or whatever?
I mean, honestly, him coming into the ring to fight Bray and then dropping to his knees like this and joining Bray. That's what
Yeah,
I
that's
would
it.
want.
Right,
That's
that-
what I
that-
want too.
Right. That's like the only thing that kind of makes it. Or would you like if he showed up and he literally has like a lily pad on his shoulder that he
Yeah.
throws it off?
Coughs and a frog comes out.
Yeah,
Right.
he burps up a frog.
Listen, he got drowned by the Fiend, right? So wouldn't it make sense for him? Like, he just literally was killed. Wouldn't it make sense for him to just come out and just lay down for the Fiend and take the pin? Wouldn't you be like, holy shit, like
Yeah.
this is crazy? And then he just, how about a black leather sheep mask like
Yeah.
you used to wear, something
Rocking a
demonic,
mask.
like a sheep mask, a demonic face.
Well,
Give
look,
us, just
so they're
fucking, who
booking.
cares? I don't need Braun as champion.
Yeah.
I don't. I'd rather have some kind of crazy thing with the Fiend. And Shayna Baszler just popped back up my screen and scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. This is the last thing to sum this up. They've announced that Fiend is now wrestling Strowman at SummerSlam for the title. Can Fiend lose to Strowman? I mean, can
No.
Fiend need a pin to Strowman?
Well,
Not the Fiend
no.
character, no. But like Sweater Bray.
Well, no, but
I mean-
we've had
Definitely
Sweater Bear
Fiend.
already.
Goldberg.
Then we had the Swamptacular, and then now we're in the
Goldberg beat the Fiend.
river of
That
Dreams,
doesn't count.
the
That
Billy
does
Joel
not
album.
count.
It's
Doesn't
named
count.
it's named after the Billy
River
Joel
of
album.
Dreams?
Yeah, it's the River of Dreams.
In
He
the
got thrown into the
middle
River
of
of
night.
Dreams.
This is
middle of
this,
the night,
this,
you got
this
thrown into the
podcast
river,
is
dude.
too Long Island heavy.
That's true. But I'm saying now he's gonna wrestle Fiend. If Strowman comes out and he is more like demonic in that, and if Fiend takes pin from him and he's laughing, I think you can start establishing Fiend as a guy who gets pinned because he doesn't even really care about winning matches. He's like,
Sure.
then he has the Joker kill me. Look what I did to you. I made you so fucking visceral, right? I
Yeah.
made you so vile. I'm so proud of you. He doesn't even care about losing matches. Then I think you have some killer booking for Fiend. Is that
Yeah.
he cares more about the Swamptacular match that he has to do
Like
in the
converting
program.
people is more
Yes.
important.
Then he has
yeah.
one final match to prove to you that you are no longer yourself. And then you pin, but you feel weird. You're like, you hit him, you kill him in like an extraordinarily violent way. Like Joker's like, hit me, but you actually hit him for Batman. And then it's like, right? That's his pattern.
His goal is to make WWE fucking amazing, and he's doing it. I mean, look at Seth Rollins, right? I think the next guy on his thing should be like Kevin Owens, especially
he wants
with the
to
face
spread pain, right?
Like, let's go. Let's keep giving. I want to keep seeing all the best wrestlers on this brand, like, get served up to the Fiend and see what see what can work.
But I'm talking about the actual Fiend character. He's trying to spread his pain, right? He's like this character who was like he thinks, you know, the Bray Sweater Bray character is like, oh, I'm doing great, I'm cured.
Yeah.
Now I'm here to like talk to you guys, but it's like not him though. But it's the same. He's like, but the Fiend, he's not good. He still has pain that he has really unresolved shit. And so if he can make that Misery Once Called Company, where he's like Bray, and like same thing as like Daniel Bryan, it's like, you know, go back to being shaved head. Like Miz, this whole like you're a good guy thing. No. You're miserable too. So if he has Braun start being like vicious again, then it's like mission
Forgot about the
completed for
Miz.
him, right?
But here's the thing, though.
Makes him really cool.
But with Braun compared to every other person that the Fiend has faced, hasn't really had a change in character to where there's a Braun to go back to, except for the sheep mask Braun.
Right.
Like, that's it.
The Wyatt family.
That's
Braun.
it.
Yeah.
So, like, where there is no other place to send Braun back to. So
Right.
that's why I think we're having this conversation of, like, where is this going to go? Because every other time you could predict, it's going to.
I know where we can send them.
Maybe he starts using the sheep mask.
We could
Goes
send them to
back to
WrestleMania
Wyatt
34
family.
when Nicholas was his teammate.
Yeah,
Like the
that's
most
true.
embarrassing fucking moment
I
ever.
want to see Braun behead Nicholas in his new
Yeah.
entity.
Yeah, now we're
Rip his fucking
talking.
head off.
Fuck yeah.
He should bring Nicholas. It would be really funny if he fucking Fiend comes out with Nicholas, like bloody
my
Nicholas.
God.
He like chops. Yeah, that'd be great.
Instead of the Bray face lantern,
it's
it's Nicholas.
but he's alive.
Yeah, he's just carrying him out by his head.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see where they go with this. Let's track this because I think that if they get, I think there's a way to have him lose to Strowman, but it involves Strowman being changed from the Swamp of Destiny, or whatever the fuck that was.
Right.
That match. So you know where the guy went on fire.
Oh my God. Yeah, that guy.
All right, guys. Listen, we're going to pick this conversation up on the bonus episode. Comes out Friday morning. Me and Tula are going to be dissecting AEW and NXT to an unhealthy degree. Couple topics we didn't get into is, are they teasing a Cody heel turn because they keep talking about how big his entourage is getting? Oh, is
and
that
they call him
is
the
that not
Prince, the Prince
Yes.
of Pro Wrestling.
Save
Whoa.
it. Save it.
Save it for the pod?
You're heading into paywall territory.
Sorry.
Tula. Don't fuck this
Sorry.
up for me.
Go, keep going.
We'll talk about the new NXT, the new TNT title. Do we think it looks gorge? Or do we think it looks jabroni? We'll talk about Tag Team Appreciation Night in general. The FTR heel turn against Rick and Morty, and then we'll talk everything NXT. We'll talk about how it felt to be invited into the Gargano household or whatever is happening on NXT. TikTok. That's me watching the clock. And we'll talk about the Dark Order. I have a couple of questions. Is it working? Because I'm not sure anymore. But we'll.
They
talk
also
more
said
about that
TikTok
stuff.
too.
That's why I said that.
Yes.
I'm loving Brody Lee's wax mustache. That looks his mustache looks good.
Save it for bot.
Let's say for the all right, that's right. You guys, everyone owes me 50 cents. Venmo me 50 cents for that.
I hope. Listen, everybody, just fucking Venmo Dan 50 cents, please. It's 50 cents. All right,
You know
I'm gonna
someone's
do
gonna
it
do it.
right now. I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna Venmo. What's your Venmo? At Dan Black Attack?
That's
I don't know.
Yeah,
Is it?
That is it.
Okay,
I
perfect.
think
So, everybody Venmo Dan 50 fucking cents. He deserves it.
All right, everybody. And maybe we'll get Jamie on. I'll get Jamie on the bonus episode to
Oh,
talk
that's
about
a
the
good
match.
bonus. That's good bonus.
We'll get that. I'll get that on the bonus episode. All right, everybody. Check out the Dan Black Attack podcast, by the way, which is out right now, coming out simultaneously with this episode. Me and Aaron are talking about Kamala Harris, all her stats, what she's been up to. Is she good? Is she bad? Is she a good pick? and we're also having a good time. And then check out patreon.com/communities wrestling for our bonus episodes. And also our cash-ins. That's what I want to say. Cash-ins will be back next week. You leave us a voicemail at 316-530-2429, 316. 530-2429. Blow my mind. And our topic. And I'm not saying you have to stick to the topic, but your odds of getting played on the show. The topic is, what was the topic? Oh, MJF's campaign. Why is his campaign angle working for you? Right? For a match he already has. Okay? All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to the podcast. And spread the word with the pod. Even if you can't join the Patreon, just tell somebody you enjoy this podcast. You listen to it every week. I expect you tell somebody that you like it. Okay? Even if you're not sure if they like wrestling, just tell somebody you like it. Word of mouth goes a long way. All right? Tulo's house looks like it's on fire. All right, everybody.
Cops are pulling up.
Retribution is there.
Wow, Retribution. Retribution.
Ric Flair
is
just
pulled
got
off
kicked in the head.
Oh, my God. They're cutting out. All right, everybody. Keep watching wrestling. Kisses.